Good morning. Some of us don't have time to read, so I figured what's the best way to solve that problem is to read it for you. So, with all the little ideologies and things, I'll be reading them. And then make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. And then, if you want more, like an in depth discussion about each quote, make sure you look towards the bottom. There should be a link to the university where I go over each quote in more depth. And this is just more of an essay. So let's go. Either you do or you don't. Fuck trying. Either you do or you don't. This quote speaks measures. In the past, we have all been confronted with this statement numerous times. Starting as early as conception, we are faced with the decision either we swim and fertilize the egg or we don't. This statement follows us with every decision we make on a daily basis. I'm going to be happy. Either you do things to make your life happy or you don't. I'm going to be more successful. Either you do things to make yourself more successful, read books, take classes, change your friends. There's a side note, so let me read the side note. Yes, your friends are most often your worst enemies because they accept you for who you are, not challenging you to be who you're supposed to be. Or you don't. I'm going to have a more loving relationship. Either you're going to listen or not. Most relationships are dysfunctional because we forget to listen. Remember, the only reason the other person is in your life is because you want them there. So it only makes sense to listen to something you want in your life. We all have to look in a mirror and face a statement, not on a monthly basis or a daily basis, but on a consistent basis, almost with every decision we make. Either you do or you don't. In life, there are no excuses for not completing a task. School has taught us about deadlines and failures, but has that really helped? I have to question the whole idea of deadlines. Yes, on a vast array of things, having a deadline is very important. The baby is being born, I'm getting married, I have to have this done so I can spend time with my family. These and others like it are deadlines we need to adhere to. In today's society, we are taught that we have a deadline to learn, K through 12. If we don't learn on their schedule, you are considered a failure. Excuses are taught. We learn how to use them in school. Then we take this skill with us throughout life. I can imagine if you had a lot of excuses why you could not do your homework when you were little, you have a lot of excuses why you can't pay your bills or get a better job now. People are creatures of habit. If you have habitually been making excuses since you were younger why you can't do things, then you have programmed your brain to think small and only achieve small. However, if you change the way you program your brain, if instead of thinking small and always thinking of how something can't be done, you start thinking about how it can get done, the small change will have amazing effects on the expansion of your brain and thinking. With this new mind frame, you'll be able to complete any task. You will be able to complete any task because you will have the confidence and understanding that any roadblocks are fun and inviting challenges to expand our brains and create innovative solutions. This also has a lot to do with one's integrity. When you give your word on something, then you have to keep it. Honor and integrity have been replaced with lies and deceit. Lying and deceiving others is a horrible thing, but what's worse is when we lie and deceive ourselves. When I was younger, I used to think I was the best and knew everything. It is great to have confidence, but vanity and arrogance are a recipe for disaster. If I was the greatest and knew everything, then how could I learn anything? Well, I'm 36 now, and the answer is it was impossible. I could not learn anything because I would not allow myself to learn anything. When you're the best, there is no room for improvement. I will never forget a conversation I had when I was 18. Unc, does it hurt yet? Me, does what hurt? Unc, your head. Me, why would my head hurt? You keep running into the wall instead of just going around it. If you're the smartest, the best, and know everything, then we will waste a lifetime trying to go through the wall. However, if we're honest with ourselves and paint an accurate picture of ourselves, we would be able to easily recognize the wall and simply ask how to go around it. Or even better yet, how can we avoid the walls altogether? You cannot try to do anything. Try is not a real word. Take a moment and think about what I just said. Try and do anything. Try and pick up a pen. Try to be nice. Try to love someone. Either you do or you don't. I will never forget a lesson one of my teachers taught us. He asked the student why they did not have done their homework assignment from the night before. The student came up with an excuse, and my teacher placed a pencil on the ground and asked the student to try and pick it up. The student with a smirk bent over and picked it up. Then the teacher said, "See, there is no trying to do something. Either you do it or you don't." It's been 20 years since that incident, but it's still relevant in my life today. Try to me is the same as saying, "I'm too lazy." If you do not become what you've dreamt of being, then it's your fault, nobody else's. I want to rule the world. Some of us have bigger dreams than others. If I fail, I cannot blame anyone but myself. I can't blame my upbringing. I can't blame my education. I can't blame anything but myself. I use taking over the world as an example because there is no roadmap on how to achieve that feat. However, if your aspirations are not as high as mine, there is probably someone in the world who has been waiting to help you their entire life. You just have to find and accept their help. Every day is going to be a challenge. That's what makes life interesting. If it was easy, it would be boring. If every morning we wake up and read this quote as a reminder, we will be more accomplished. We will not have an excuse every time we fail because we know failing is a part of life. Using my failures as learning lessons to be more prepared the next time around. Either you do or you don't. Now again, if you want a more in-depth explanation of my ideology on either you do or you don't, fuck trying, either you do or you don't, look at the link below, click it, and you'll be taken to the university to where you can take the class on either you do or you don't. Fuck trying, either you do or you don't. But don't forget, before you leave, make sure you subscribe, share, like, whatever it is. Leave a comment down there. It's easier for me than leaving an email because leaving an email, I get so much spam, it's very difficult for me to keep up with it. But if you leave a comment, then it's easier for me to be able to look at it and respond. All right, thanks, bye.